Hallo und willkommen zu Lonestar. Wir spielen Agatha Christie, die ABC Murders. Ja, wir haben jetzt auch schon wieder diese Ratte Essig bekommen für den Witwer. Nancy Bodley's bottle of vinegar. The smell could awaken the dead. Ja, aber ich fürchte, es funktioniert nicht mehr bei der Frau. Ich hätte mir erst anschauen können.
Mes amis, I can say without a doubt that poor Mrs. Asher was killed between 5:30 and 6.
Killed when the street was packed with people. That's rather bold.
I've been talking to the neighbours, and...
No one's seen anything? Or rather, it's anything and everything. Am I wrong?
No.
Bien. We must grill this villain Asher before he falls asleep again.
Ja, ich hätte ihn vorher schon anschauen sollen. Habe ich ja gerade gesagt.
This man is in rather a bad state.
Black Eye. Lip Lip.
This man has been
Stone Cold.
fighting and he smells of alcohol.
Offer a cigarette. Accuse him of having threatened his wife. Ask what he was doing yesterday evening.
What were you doing yesterday at the time of the crime?
Can't recall.
Suspicious. Accuse him of drunkenness? Ja, das weiß ich ja selber. Ask politely to cooperate.
Come on, my friend. Try to remember. It is important.
I'm really sorry, sir, but I don't remember a thing.
I see. But maybe you do remember threatening to kill your wife?
So what? You shouldn't take things so seriously, sir. Nothing but empty threats. We didn't get on all that badly.
Hypocrite.
Are you often involved in fights?
I don't know what you mean.
Na komm, bitte. Make fun of him being beaten up. Accuse him of fighting.
Asher, look me in the eye and tell me that you were in a fight.
I'm looking. No, I wasn't in a fight.
You are
Contemptuous.
right. Looking at the state of you, you did not defend yourself. So someone gave you a good beating.
A beating? No way. All right, he tore my coat and gave me a black eye. You see the state of him?
Very interesting. Who is the other that you struck?
Probably best if I tell you everything. Yesterday afternoon, I met Roderick Tanner. We'd bet on a dog fight together.
An illegal bet, naturally.
Yes, sir. Our dog won. Roderick got the money, but he refused to give me my share.
And you fought about it. What time was this?
In the evening, about 6, I think. We were on the other side of town.
Truthful.
See, I couldn't have killed my wife.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Ja, aber nur wenn er da noch einen Zeugen hat für sein Alibi. What was Miss Asher doing when she was killed? Ja, sie hat vermutlich einfach Zeug verkauft in ihrem Laden. A cigarette pack near the victim's hand. The body was found at about 11. Packets and a muddle on the shelf. She has just one wound at the back of her head. Ist es jetzt falsch? Achso, das ist das aktuelle. Fehlt mir da was? Also das passt ja irgendwie nicht zu der Zeit. Das passt eigentlich auch nicht und das auch nicht, aber ich nehme mal das. She was taking a packet of cigarettes.
The murderer probably pretended to be a customer. He hit the shopkeeper from behind as she turned around to serve him. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
How do we explain the presence of an ABC guide on the counter? Letter signed ABC announcing the Andover murder. No railway guide for sale in the tobacco shop. There are no fingerprints on the guide. It was left by the murderer as a signature.
The murderer deliberately left behind this ABC as a signature. The absence of fingerprints and the fact that it is open at letter A for Andover leaves little doubt.
Usher's alibi appears to be confirmed. All the same, I'm going to call and check that he did have a fight with this Tanner on the afternoon of the murder. You can never trust this sort of chap.
One thing is certain, Asher was a ruffian who used to beat his wife.
But he is not very educated. It certainly was not him who wrote the letter signed ABC. Let's resume, Hastings. We know the murderer pretended to be a customer. He did not kill her for money, that appears to be certain.
I agree with you on that point.
And the murderer left an ABC guide as a signature. Therefore, it's likely he wrote the letter.
Indeed, but that doesn't explain why and how he did it.
You are quite right. Why he did it is a mystery. But as for how he did it, we do know enough to try and reconstruct the events.
Reconstruct the crime's course of events by selecting the actions that the killer may have executed. Reconstruction.
The killer enters the shop.
Advance.
Mrs. Asher turns around to greet a customer. The murderer asks her for some tobacco. She turns her back to him. He seizes the opportunity to strike her.
Dann hat das Buch hingelegt.
He then places the ABC on the counter before leaving.
War das so
The ABC
gelegen?
was not found like that. We are not far from the solution, Hastings. Would you mind if we thought about it a little more?
Reconstruction failed? Hallo?
The killer enters the shop.
Wieso soll das also nicht so gewesen sein?
Mrs. Asher turns around to greet a customer. The murderer asks her for some tobacco. She turns her back to him. He seizes the opportunity to strike her.
Ach so, das Buch umdrehen.
He then places the ABC upside down before leaving.
Ich dachte, er dreht sich um. Das Buch war
Everything appears
gemeint.
to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Reconstruction Success. Okay, manchmal weiß man nicht so genau wohl, was sie meinen mit den Wörtern, die nur hingeschrieben sind. Das ist halt, wenn es nur ein Wort ist.
Asher has a strong alibi and we don't have any other suspect. But what was the point of this crime?
She had no debts. She gave Franz Asher money regularly. She wasn't owed money. Nobody stood to gain anything.
No doubt about it, the murderer is insane.
And I fear that we had not heard the last of him.
I hope you're wrong for once.
Bien, let's go back to London. If we hurry, we should catch the 7:02 train. Are you coming?
No, unfortunately, I have to talk with Andover police.
See you soon then. Are you coming, Hastings? Let's go home, there's nothing for us here.
Well, do you have any idea about the killer's identity?
The crime was committed by a man of medium height, with red hair and suspicious eyes. He has a slight limp on the right foot, and a wart just below his shoulder blade.
Poirot!
Mon ami, what do you want? You fix upon me a look of dog-like devotion and demand of me a pronouncement à la Sherlock Holmes. Now for the truth. I do not know what the murderer looks like, nor where he lives, nor how to set hands upon him.
What shall we do, then?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Do not be so impatient, Hastings. The killer will manifest himself soon enough.
I thought I heard the postman. Maybe there's some news.
I would go and see.
Das ist also sein Apartment. Ja, ich weiß nicht. Sollen wir uns erst umschauen? Ich hatte gerade geklopft an der Tür.
Daily Flicker, June the 22nd, 1935. Battle over control of bank system. What will the government do for money? Andover, murder of a tobacconist.
Ja, wir gehen noch nicht zu unserem Schreibtisch. Wir gehen jetzt doch erstmal zur Tür. Wir können uns später noch umschauen. Aber schauen wir uns erstmal im Spiegel an. Was haben wir denn hier? Wir haben Punkte wieder bekommen. Wieso ist es eigentlich immer falsch rum, wenn man es bekommt? Und nicht durch, wenigstens durch Zufall einmal richtig.
Dear Mr. Poirot, well, what do you think? I believe that I won this round. The Andover affair went like clockwork, don't you feel? But the fun has only just started. I would like to draw your attention to Bexhill on Sea on the 25th of this month. We're having a crazy time. Best wishes, ABC. The next crime will be in Bexhill. We must warn Jap to Scotland Yard.
Did the letter indicate anything that might help the police?
To be honest, I think we can already guess something about the next victim. But I need to think about it a little more.
Ja, schauen wir uns doch erstmal ein bisschen um hier. Thinking.
Let us examine this more closely.
Das A ist immer schief.
Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. Yes, this I is weird. Right, let us compare this with the other letter. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Ja, das A hatten wir doch schon.
Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual.
Ach, muss ich jetzt ja aufs andere gehen?
Nothing to report for these characters. Let us examine another word. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. Right, let us compare this with the other letter.
Das ist das gleiche Wort nochmal.
That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Echt jetzt? Ja, das E sieht auch ein bisschen seltsam aus.
Let us examine the characters in this word. Let us examine the characters in this word. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter.
Like and...
Nothing
Case.
to report for these characters.
Ja, aber das E
Let us
ist doch ein
examine
bisschen
another
höher
word.
als der Rest. Das K vielleicht?
Let us examine the characters in this word. Let us examine the characters in this word.
Ich glaube, das ist wohl nicht das Richtige.
Right. Let us compare this with the other letter.
Was ist jetzt noch auffällig? Ah, ich habe gerade kein großes K hier. Na super. Aber wie viel brauchen wir dann? Wenn die Kommas sehen auch. Das Dir ist dasselbe.
I don't see anything in particular. Let us look at another word.
Das E ist doch ein bisschen höher. Hm? Das W ist schwach.
The W is not printed properly. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Certain characters in... Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. My theory was right. These two letters were written with the same typewriter.
Dafür haben wir 3 Stück gebraucht. Das E war auch ein
Both
bisschen
letters
höher
were
wie der
written on the
Rest.
same typewriter and show the same characteristics.
You surprise me, Poirot. You usually ignore material proof.
But there is nothing usual about this case, Hastings. Nothing must be overlooked. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Wollen wir uns nicht noch ein bisschen umschauen hier? What's special about the Andover murder? The first victim was called Asher. Andover and Alice Asher start with the letter A. What can we guess about the next victim? Letter announcing the Bexhill crime. The next victim's name may start with the letter B.
So, Poirot, have you found something?
Oui, I believe so. But I am afraid it is not enough to stop the murderer. Let us go and see Chief Inspector Japp. I will explain there.
Müssen wir jetzt dahin laufen? Oder können wir ein Taxi nehmen?
No doubt about it. Hastings is going bored.
Was liegt da noch?
It may be time to go to Scotland Yard.
Ja, May. Die Kekse liegen sehr unordentlich. Naja, dann gehen wir, oder? Whitehaven Mansion. Ja dann. Taxi, oder? Ja, das ist wie aus der Serie. Das ist
To
das gleiche
Scotland
Gebäude.
Yard, please.
Cool. Also finde ich nett, dass sie sich daran orientieren. Also, Scotland Yard. In, out. Wir können aber nur bei out reingehen. Dürfen wir das dann überhaupt? Naja, da hätten wir ja gleich ins Büro gehen können, oder? Und noch durch die Tür gehen müssen.
Jap has invested a great deal in his career.
Medal Board. Order of Merit Dispatch.
Jap is an
Pudding
investigator greatly respected by his peers.
Karte von England.
London. I really like this city. One thing is certain, you never get bored here. Alice Asher was murdered in Andover. The ABC killer's first murder.
Ja, wo das B hingehört, wissen wir ja schon. In dem Brief war der Buchstabe ja gestanden.
Jap appears to be snowed under.
Hat einen Hörer weggelegt. Telefon auf der Hook. Ein Haufen Zeug auf dem Tisch. Files of Files.
Jap appears to already be overloaded with work. My news is not going to improve matters. Bonjour, Chief Inspector. I am afraid we have some bad news. I have just received another letter signed ABC. The next crime will be on the 25th in Bexhill-on-Sea.
Are you completely sure it's from the same person?
I have compared the two letters. There is no doubt about it.
I suppose you think he's going to carry out his threats.
I fear so.
Good God, Poirot. Bexhill is very busy at this time of year, and we have no idea who the next victim will be.
The killer attacks old ladies who runs a shop. The murderer is unpredictable. The next victim's name will start with a B.
I suspect that the name of the second victim will start with B.
What on earth makes you think such a thing?
I thought about it when I saw the name Asher clearly written over the shop door of the unfortunate woman who was murdered in Andover last month. When I received a letter mentioning Bexhill, I deduced that the victim, like the town, might have been chosen by alphabetical order.
So, it's an alphabet fiend. I'm going to have a list drawn up of all the people whose name starts with B. I hope there aren't too many of them.
Bien. We should leave you to work, Chief Inspector.
You have a few days to prepare yourself.
Thank you for coming, my friends.
Sollte man das im Radio vielleicht ankündigen? Achtung, alle Leute mit B? Oder mit Doppel-B?
Poirot?
So
Chief
wie
Inspector
Brigitte
Jap,
Bardot.
your call does not bode well.
Indeed, we have just found the body of a young woman on the beach in Bexhill. An ABC was placed on the body.
We'll be there as soon as possible.
Bap, badap, bap. Oder war das was anderes? Bexhill. Talk to Jap.
Bexhill is a delightful town. It would be nice to come back and visit.
I do not entirely agree. Walking at the beach damages my shoes, and it hurts my knee.
So the years have not spared you, my friend. It's the same for all of us.
That is exactly what I said to myself when I saw you back from your travels.
Poirot.
Do not be offended, Hastings. I can see Jap waiting for us. And from his face, I would say that things are not looking good.
Ich finde es ganz nett, dass sie so Mannerismen übernommen haben aus der Serie. So wie der Poirot dran steht mit diesen, ja, 90-Grad-Ellenbogen hier, was total ungemütlich ausschaut.
Bexhill seems to be a pleasant little town.
Modern Bungalow. The Sea. Kann ich die nicht anschauen? Strand vielleicht? Seafront.
Bexhill is a pretty little seaside resort with elegant architecture, although personally I prefer more modern buildings.
Es wäre schön, wenn es ein bisschen länger dran stehen würde, damit man es besser lesen kann. Ganz nett gemacht, dass hier so viel Bewegung im Bild ist. Ne? Das ist für so ein Spiel doch eigentlich ziemlich nett. So, sollen wir da wirklich runtergehen?
How do you do, gentlemen?
Chief Inspector?
I fear your admirer has struck again, Poirot. We haven't yet identified the victim, but it's a young woman, 20 to 25 years old. Death occurred last night between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, and we found an ABC guide on the body.
Was she pretty?
Come on, Poirot, that's rather out of place. It has no bearing on the murder.
Are you certain? For women it is often the most important thing. It often decides their destiny.
The body hasn't been moved. You can see for yourself.
Has the press been informed?
Not yet, but I'm planning to. I haven't yet informed them about the presence of the ABC guide in Andover.
Nobody has reported a young woman missing?
Not for the moment.
No witnesses, I imagine?
Indeed. We've asked everybody who may have met a young woman fitting her description last night to come and see us, but I have little hope of gaining anything from it.
It's early days, Chief Inspector, and the news may not have spread around the town yet.
I hope you're right, Hastings.
Examine the crime scene. Er wurde erwürgt.
These marks have been left by a rope or a braided cloth. A braided silk belt. It may have belonged to the victim.
Da hat sie einen Schlüssel.
This key is too small to be one for a house. Without a doubt, it is for a padlock. The guide is open at the page for the Bexhill train times.
Die hat keine Schuhe an.
The young woman wasn't wearing shoes or a coat and was not carrying a bag. That's strange. Either the murderer stole her belongings or she put them somewhere safe. Maybe so that she could bath. She was a great beauty. Strange that chap didn't notice it. Apart from the marks on her neck, there are no signs of the struggle. She didn't manage to hit her assailant. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
How was the victim killed? There was a braided silk belt. The victim has marks on the neck. Wir brauchen noch einen. He did not struggle, wenn dann das. The victim was strangled by surprise with her own belt.
The poor child must have been strangled with his braided belt. Unfortunately, in view of the fabric, it is unlikely that we will find any prints. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Ja, nett, wie sie hier umguckt. What are the common points between the Andover murder and the one in Bexhill, not the ABC guide, huh? The killer signs his crimes with an ABC guide. Are the crimes in Andover and Bexhill the work of the same murderer? Letter announcing the crime. Das passt nicht. Ach so, wir haben das noch nicht gesagt, okay. Ja, außerdem war es im Brief gestanden, das finde ich eigentlich viel eindeutiger. The two murders were
The medical officer should confirm that the victim was strangled with her own belt.
That's what I thought. She shows the usual signs of strangulation.
With a little luck, we'll find prints this time.
You are too optimistic, Hastings. Our killer is far too meticulous for that.
Identify the victim. Ach, jetzt schauen wir uns erstmal den Schlüssel an. Da steht die 6 drauf. A small key found fastened to Betty Barnard's. Das ist ja nett. Sie ist schon identifiziert. It looks too small to open the door.
This hut is locked.
Ja, ja. Wir müssen auf die Nummer 6, bitte. Thinking. Da fehlt das Loch. Das Loch fehlt. Die Schraube fehlt.
The number is upside down. This is definitely at number 6.
715.
A dual locking padlock. I need to find the code and then insert a key.
Okay, doppelt. Sehr nett. Wäre doch mal was für den Lockpicking Lawyer. Hm?
Betty's first day at work. Mom is very proud of you. Elizabeth Barnard, 7 August 1931. So, the young lady did have a name starting with B, and she worked as a ginger cat, an establishment that must be slightly further along the beach. The purse is full. Yet again, we can dismiss theft as the motive for the murder.
Und da stehen die Schuhe.
Here is the watch she must have removed to prevent it from getting wet. A top-brand lipstick. She liked to take care of her appearance. As well as a photo of the victim with some company. It could be useful to me. It definitely was here that the victim left her belongings.
Jap has gone to the police. The victim has been identified and her family had reported her disappearance. She was called?
Elizabeth Barnard, mainly Betty. She worked as a ginger cat at the cafe slightly further along the beach.
But Poirot, how on earth?
Never mind. Do you have her address?
Yes, she lived with her parents on the street leading to the beach, number 22. Shall we go?
You are far too impatient, Hastings. Let the poor people take in the news first. Let us go and visit the cafe where Betty worked.
Wir wollten uns erstmal anschauen, was wir noch gefunden haben. A photo found in the beach hut. It's the victim and a young man, well-suited couple. Gibt's denn hier nichts, was man sich noch anschauen kann? Nichts mehr? Scheint nicht. Wo ist Hastings hin? So.
With all these tourists, these shops must be thriving. With all these tourists. Hastings appears to be ill at ease. He appeared to be relatively indifferent to Mrs. Asher's murder, but a young woman's murder seems to be troubling him greatly.
Ja. Was ist das für ein Ding?
Could it be the same buildings as on the victim's photo?
Cupola. Das ist die Überschrift doch gewesen. Newspaper Kiosk.
This is
Seaside.
definitely where the photo I found in the hut was taken. I fear that this case is far from being solved.
Come on, Poirot. You'll find the killer.
Certes. But how many times will he kill before I do?
Bis zu welchen Buchstaben werden wir kommen?
I'll be with you in a minute, gentlemen.
What a pity. I don't have any chance to make it work.
Echt? Hätten wir was hören wollen? Poirot. Aus so einer Jukebox.
This is a well-laid table. Nothing is out of place and, above all, no creases.
Gibt's da wieder einen Spiegel, in dem wir uns betrachten können? Ah, wir stehen ein bisschen weit vorne. Hehehe. Dafür dann ein Achievement bekippt. Ja, mit dem, dass er uns bald da was sagt, das wird wohl nichts, ne? Muss man selber machen.
Something tells me that she's the owner of the ginger cat.
Strict appearance. Red hair.
This
Behind the
woman must be
counter.
the owner of the ginger cat. It looks like something is bothering her.
Mit solchen Kassen
How
haben
can
wir
I help you?
Erfahrung.
A hot chocolate and a tea for my friend, please.
I'll bring it straight away.
Halt erstmal deinen Ledger umschauen.
I need to know the time range during...
Ah! Ich klicke immer zu früh.
I
mir
need
leid.
to know the time range during which Betty was working on her own. Where is Betty? Betty worked
Betty.
from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Would she have been alone at any time during her service? No, this person is not the last one to have worked with Betty.
Wo ist Betty? Ja, Millie.
Interesting. Betty was alone between 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Who did she serve? These are the different waiting staff's bills. Which ones were written by Betty?
Du musst es jetzt merken müssen. Hour 5.
This bill may have been written by Betty. There is probably another one.
Da war doch noch ein Fünfer.
Betty wasn't serving on her own at these 2 times. Let's keep searching.
Ach so, also danach.
Most probably a family. This bill may have been written by Betty. There is probably another one.
Ich dachte, wir suchten das, wo sie noch zu zweit waren.
Most probably a single man, a whiskey lover. Maybe the murderer? Betty served a family and a man on his own, a whiskey drinker. Maybe the murderer. This information will help me to progress.
What? Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Wir sehen uns nur
We
ein
are
bisschen
searching
um.
for clues, mademoiselle. My name is Hercule Poirot. I am a detective, and this is Captain Hastings. Does Betty Barnard work here?
That is correct. She should have been here a while ago. Punctuality is the first rule of politeness.
I fear that Miss Barnard will not be coming today. She has just been found, dead, on the beach a few hundred meters from the cafe.
How awful. Poor young thing. What happened?
She appears to have been murdered.
This is most distressing. How this will affect my business, I shudder to think.
Sehr mitfühlend, die Dame. So, that on the contrary, it is an advert for the town. Ask her what she knows about Betty.
What can you tell us about Miss Barnard?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Miss Barnard was my employee. Her private life was none of my business.
You did know at least that she had a young man.
Contemptuous.
Indeed.
Ask if a gentleman friend might have attacked her. Ask if a man in the photo is her gentleman friend.
This photo was found. Is this him?
Yes, that's him all right. But I haven't seen him for some time.
Ask if their relationship was going well. Sie hat schon gesagt, sie weiß nichts drüber. Say that young people no longer have morals.
Do you think there may have been some problems
Das
between
würde
them?
zu dem passen, dass
I'm
sie
not
den
on
Kreuz
those
trägt.
sort of terms with my staff.
Ja,
Now,
okay.
please excuse me. I have
Erneut.
work to do.
Hätten wir vielleicht das andere sagen sollen, um sie bei Laune zu halten.
The customer who ordered the whiskey might provide us more information. He may have been the last one to see Betty alive.
It is an interesting idea, Hastings. Maybe he is a regular guest. What do you think, mademoiselle?
I don't think so. Our regular guests tend to order tea and cakes. At this time of the year, there are a lot of tourists about you never see again.
That's what I thought. Time to visit Betty's home.
Ja, das hätten wir vielleicht besser machen sollen. Ich habe mir schon gedacht, wir hätten vielleicht das andere wählen sollen, weil sie doch sicher so eine ganz strenge ist. Ne? Dass sie sagen, oh, die jungen Leute, die haben gar keine Moral. Witness, Miss Marion. About 40 years old. She is the owner of the Ginger Cat. She doesn't know very much about their employees' private lives. So sagt sie zumindest. Go to Betty's house at number 22 on the High Street. Ja, da gehen wir also als nächstes hin. Aber ich würde sagen, das machen wir nicht mehr heute. Machen wir an dieser Stelle doch lieber erstmal ein kleines Päuschen. Und ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und wir sehen uns das nächste Mal.